At the 2026 World Cup, one of football's oldest habits could suddenly become a huge problem. No, it is not a dangerous tackle. It is not fighting with an opponent. It is not even arguing with the referee. It is covering your mouth while speaking during a confrontation. For years, football players have done this without thinking. A player walks over to a teammate, an opponent, or a referee, raises a hand to his mouth, and says something privately. It happens in almost every match. Most fans barely notice it anymore.
But football's lawmakers believe there is a reason to pay attention. Players originally started covering their mouths because modern football has cameras everywhere. High-definition broadcasts can zoom in from the other side of the stadium. Media companies even use professional lip readers to figure out what players are saying. One careless comment can become tomorrow's headline. So players developed a simple solution. Hide the lips, hide the conversation. Problem solved. But football authorities argue that this habit can also be used to hide something much worse. They believe some players use mouth covering during heated confrontations to conceal abusive, discriminatory, or threatening language that cameras cannot easily detect. And because there is often no clear evidence of what was said, proving misconduct becomes incredibly difficult. That is why football's lawmakers approved a new rule aimed directly at this behavior. Under the updated guidance, a player who deliberately covers his mouth during a confrontation can face serious punishment, including a red card. The goal is simple. If players know they cannot hide behind a covered mouth, they may think twice before saying something they should not say. Supporters of the rule believe it could help clean up some of the ugliest moments in football. Critics are not convinced. Many argue that football is an emotional sport, and players should still be allowed to have private conversations on the pitch. Others worry that referees will now have to judge situations that are far from black and white. Was the player actually trying to hide abusive language, or was it just a habit? That debate is already dividing fans, and it creates a strange new reality for players. For years, covering your mouth was completely normal. Now, in certain situations, it could attract unwanted attention from the referee. That means players may need to change a behavior they have repeated thousands of times throughout their careers. Imagine spending 20 years automatically raising your hand every time you speak on a football pitch. Now, imagine trying to stop overnight. That will not be easy. The most fascinating part is what happens next. Football fans are used to analyzing VAR decisions, offside lines, and controversial fouls. At the 2026 World Cup, they may also be debating whether a player deliberately covered his mouth during a confrontation.
A tiny gesture, a massive controversy, and one of the most unusual rule changes football has seen in years.